Hi everybody, this is Dino Chris from Prehistoric Facts, and this is a Q&A episode, so let's get started, shall we? So Lukezilla, your questions are, who would win, Tylosaurus or Basilosaurus? So two aquatic animals that are not related to each other, and also, of course, lived in different times. Tylosaurus lived in the late Cretaceous period, whereas Basilosaurus lived in the late Eocene epoch, after the age of dinosaurs, of course. And of course, Basilosaurus is a whale, a primitive whale, and Tylosaurus is a mosasaur. And so, if those two ever mate, because they're both similar in size in terms of length, Basilosaurus, I believe, would actually be a little bit faster. But the thing is, Tylosaurus has got the bigger jaws, the bigger teeth, the more powerful jaw structure, and so Basilosaurus would not have that great of bite force compared to Tylosaurus. But of course, Basilosaurus is a mammal, and the mammals would actually have the intellect a little bit more to be able to come up with a strategy to defeat Tylosaurus. But I probably would say is that the one thing that is missing from Basilosaurus that it could actually use against Tylosaurus, and that is sonar. And certain modern whales, like say sperm whales, pilot whales, dolphins, use sonar or echolocation to actually be able to sense certain prey. And then, of course, they can use it to stun prey too. Not outright kill it, but stun it. And so Basilosaurus does not have that ability, and so I probably would think Tylosaurus comes out a little bit on top of this one because of the fact is that it's got the more powerful jaw structure and so on and so forth, and also the bigger teeth. And Basilosaurus does not have a very large, when you compare the skulls, in terms of size, but Tylosaurus has got the longer skull and be able to get some pretty good bites out of Basilosaurus. So I go Tylosaurus on that one. And your next one is Argentavis or Pteranodon. Argentavis is one of the largest birds to ever live, flight birds to ever exist. That bird would have a wingspan, I believe, over 10 feet, pretty close to 10 feet, which is incredible, or just over 10 feet. Whereas Pteranodon has a 20-foot wingspan, and of course it's a pterosaur. I believe Argentavis might actually be able to win this one in terms of that. It's got better flexibility in terms of flight, and also could flap its wings a lot easier than, say, Pteranodon would. Pteranodon's wings, it's made of skin, and so Argentavis would take advantage of that, and so it would actually use its beak, it would use its talons to give some nice good wounds onto those wings to clip Pteranodon pretty good, and also Argentavis would be a little bit stronger too. And then here, your next one was Therocephalian. Excuse me. Was Therocephalian really venomous? That's been a debate because if you remember in Walking with Monsters or Before the Dinosaurs BBC documentary that was part of the Walking With series, it made this claim that Therocephalian was venomous, and so made this idea of that, like, maybe it did have like a venomous gland in, like, say in like the jaws, and then it just like uses its venom to be able to slow the prey down and be able to go in for a feast a lot easier. I would say not too much of it is really, I'd say probably not, because, see, venom glands don't fossilize, and also venom doesn't fossilize either, so that decays really easily. And so I'd probably say no. I'd probably say it's more towards, say, that it uses cunning and bite force to be able to take down its prey. I don't think it's venomous. And then your last one, what is your opinion on the new Dinosaur Book by Dougal Dixon. I think it's interesting, and I was inspired to make my own fictional creatures like a giant future sea gharial. Well, Dougal Dixon, for many of you that don't know, is an author, and he actually has made books about like what animals could be like in the future, and of course, what certain types of prehistoric creatures that he uses his imagination on. He does do research. I'll give him credit for that. But the thing is, it's a kind of almost like a cryptozoology type of thing, is where he uses like his imagination most of the time. I'm not saying cryptozoology is based on imagination. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying is that what he uses is his imagination, and also his dinosaur books tend to usually come off as controversial to a lot of into the paleontology community. Is that he just like blends certain types of dinosaurs together, and even he blends dinosaurs with like mammals, certain types of other types of creatures as well, to kind of give like an idea of like this could be what this dinosaur. If I pictured a dinosaur, like he would say, if I pictured a dinosaur, I probably would have made a dinosaur like this. But sometimes it just kind of comes off as a little bit corny. Yeah, I have not read his books. I have heard of his books. I just don't read them because it's not my type of style, not my taste. So, but if you like to read them, I mean, that's totally fine. You're willing to read whatever you want to read. You know, that is important. You know, everybody's got different opinions. I just choose not to read those books. All right, Alex. What were some of the big challenges that our very early ancestors had to face when they were migrating to different continents? That is a good question. This is not talked about that much in terms of like our ancestors migrate when our earliest ancestors were migrating towards like different continents. Is that what did they encounter? What did they encounter? Like predators? Did they encounter like dangerous weather conditions? You know, that sort of thing. I mean, weather conditions are always going to be a danger as well. But I think the one thing that they actually had to encounter was predators, because all these different continents that they were going into, they were going to be facing some different types of predators. Because in Africa, you were looking at like the big cats, even the saber-toothed variety, and also you got some very dangerous herbivores that you would have actually encountered. There were still dangerous herbivores in like Asia, in Europe, and even parts of Australia, and in North America, of course. But it's mainly predators, because the saber-toothed cats, of course, were the bigger danger. But of course, you also had like the canine varieties. You even got like big hyena-like creatures that were around too. So those were very big obstacles to overcome, and even like the different types of plants that they would actually be encountering too. Like, did they even know which ones were like edible, like able to eat, and which ones were toxic? And so that would actually be the case. But I'm pretty sure, like with like any like group that was traveling or migrating around to other continents, I'm pretty sure like if they saw one of their own eat something that is toxic, they probably go, okay, we can't eat that. You know, we leave that alone. We just find something that is good for us. You know, which is like any types of fruits, certain types of plants that are edible to them, and even some insects and meat, you know. And so, but mainly predators. I would say predators are probably going to be the biggest obstacle for that. Good question, though, Alex. Benjamin, is Iguanodon the best known all ornithopods? It's probably because it's the first ornithopod to be discovered. And I would say it is the most heavily studied, but not the most studied. We have plenty of specimens of Iguanodon. There's still some things about it that we don't know. And so I probably would say there's other ornithopods that are more well studied, like some ceratopsians, like Triceratops, even like some hadrosaurs that are more well studied. and even like the stegosaurs are very well studied as well. But you best known is kind of a hard for best known to is kind of not the best way to say it, but I probably would say it's one of the few dinosaurs that is studied pretty well, but not kind of the best known to a lot of people. But I would say that is Pteranodon the best known of all pterosaurs, most famous. It's most famous of all the pterosaurs, and it's the easiest pterosaur name that people can actually say. It's very easy. Most famous, I would say that, but most known, I don't know that about that, but it is probably the most famous. Is Dimetrodon the biggest of the pelycosaurs? So pelycosaurs are a group of synapsids, basically. So a lot of you people that don't know that pelycosaurs are a type of synapsids. So animals that are part of the reptilian line, but of course they're getting towards to the mammalian line, and so it's more like this, is that they may look like reptiles, but they're starting to show features that would ultimately lead towards mammals and so on. And so, yeah, I'd probably say Dimetrodon is one of the largest. In terms of height, yes. I think in length, no. I think there's a couple of pelycosaurs that are longer. I just can't name them off the top of my head. But yeah, I think it is one. It's probably one of the largest in terms of height. I'd probably say not in length, because there's others that are longer. And who would win, Rugops or Afrovenator? So Rugops is a type of, excuse me, a belosaur, and it lived in Africa around the same time as Spinosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus, so around 95 million years ago. And Afrovenator, it is I believe, if I remember correctly, I think it is part of the same family group as, I want to say Signraptor, if I remember correctly, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it belongs to that group of theropods. It's somewhat related to Allosaurus, but it's not. In certain ways, I think it's a distant cousin of Allosaurus. And so, Afrovenator has a little bit more weaponry. It's got longer arms, bigger claws, more powerful bite, like longer teeth, and of course a longer skull and probably faster. Whereas Rugops is a little bit shorter. It has smaller arms, got a short skull, smaller teeth, and I believe Rugops is a little bit more of a scavenger out of all the belosaurs that are out there, and especially in its niche and its environment, it can be able to be a scavenger. But of course, it probably hunted smaller prey items, so like maybe like smaller reptiles, small, and probably like smaller dinosaurs, those sorts of things. But in terms of large prey, probably not. But Afrovenator is designed to go after larger prey, and so I probably go Afrovenator in this one, because Afrovenator's got the better weaponry, bigger claws, longer arms, stronger arms, and also better teeth, and also better skull to withstand some bite force. But of course, Rugops can do that as well. As instead, I think based on the musculature, how the musculature on the jaws are, I'd probably say Afrovenator has the edge on that one. But that's all the questions for now. Next week would be an extra episode. I'll let you guys know what kind of topic or review I'm going to do. And so I'll let you guys know. And just so you know, I do have a community tab, so please go on the community tab. I have made many posts on there, and please be interactive. Even if I ask a question on the post, please feel free to actually be part of the conversation, because that's going to be important in certain types of future videos as well. Because I want you guys to be able to interact with each other, and also interact with me on the community tab, so that way we can actually have a nice conversation, especially if you got like a question that you do not want answered on like video like this on these Q&A episodes, and just say please don't put it on video. Just please just at least try to do that, so that way I can answer your question for you in the comments, and also that way it's a lot easier. Feel free to join into the conversation of these posts, and now we post up polls too, so be part of these polls too, because there's a poll I did put out a couple weeks ago, so you guys can actually interact about that one too, and that poll as well. So please feel free to do so. And so I'll let you guys know what kind of extra episode I'll talk about in the community and also on the Facebook page. But still, if you got any questions about dinosaurs or another prehistoric life, feel free to email me at dinochrist71@gmail.com. Let's go on my Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts with Dino Chris. Like the page, you answer post your questions in the comment section. Please put them in the comment section. Don't put them in Messenger. Messengers for private conversations. So please put them in the comment section. And for YouTubers out there, like the video, subscribe to the channel according to my analytics. A lot of you guys are checking out my channel and not subscribed yet. So please feel free to subscribe, like the videos, give the video a thumbs up, and it'll spread out, and it'll help out the algorithm. And also share the video, share the channel to anybody that is interested in dinosaurs and other prehistoric life. And also stomp that notification bell, so that way you can get weekly notifications of every video that comes out. And that way, and also for YouTubers out there, feel free to leave your questions in the comment section, because I do read them all. Your questions do mean a lot in these Q&A episodes, and you guys are doing a great job, both on the Facebook page, email, and the YouTube channel, and also on YouTube. You guys are putting up some great questions. Keep it up. Your questions do mean a lot in these Q&A episodes, so make sure you keep your questions short to the point. You can also follow me on Instagram at dino.chris.pf. I'll post pretty cool stuff on there as well. You can also follow me on Twitter at CSGRALL. It's my Twitter page. I post pretty cool stuff on there as well. You can also follow me on, excuse me, take care of the people around you. And also for younger people out there, listen to your parents and teachers and your guardians. It's the best motivation you can have for good education. It's very important to have good education. With a good education, you get a good job in the future. That's it for now, and I'll see you guys next week.